Alright, strap yourselves in because we're about to go on a proper deep dive into the state of Celtic squad. And I know what you're thinking. Not this messy bedroom chat again, but look at Fitz. Imagine your bedroom's in absolute chaos, clothes everywhere, dishes piling up, that one rogue sock under the bed you've not seen since last Christmas. Rather than deal with it, you slam the door shut, head downstairs, and throw a party with your pals. You have a laugh, you celebrate, you even invite your fiercest rivals over. Shout out to Rangers, shout out to Kilmarnock, and you enjoy yourselves for weeks. But eventually the music stops, the pals head home, and you gotta go back upstairs and face the mess you've been avoiding. That, my friends, is exactly where Celtic are right now. We've had our fun. Big games, big results, trophies lifted. But now it's time to look at the squad and ask some serious questions before next season kicks off. And this year, I'm not just doing the boring keep, sell, loan routine. No, we're spicing it up. We're adding a new category, last chance. Cause let's be honest, some of these players are hanging by thread. But here's the thing, and I'm gonna be brutally honest, we probably already know the fate of most of this squad. There's not a massive debate brewing about half these lads. Still, it's worth going through because even in 12 months, things can change dramatically. Just look at some of the howlers I served up last year. I'll hold my hands up. Bad takes galore, but hey, that's football. So let's set the scene. As we gear up for preseason, the squad looks a little different. Joe Hart's out. Gutting. Paulo Bernardo and Adam aren't in the mix just now though. Fingers crossed they'll return. But for now, we're focusing on who's here and what needs doing. Between the sticks, it's fairly straightforward. Scott Bain's been solid, but is likely moving on, which is fair. He's been a good servant, but if he fancies more game time elsewhere, best of luck to him. Meanwhile, Ben Segrist, well, that situation's a bit of a saga, isn't it? Looks like he's more interested in life abroad with his Aussie partner, so I wouldn't be shocked if he's off too. Right back is solid. Alistair Johnston is a nailed-un. Keep, probably the best we've had in that role for years. Ralston too. You're not finding a more dependable backup who loves the badge like he does. He's not world class, we know that, but he does his job when called upon. Centre backs Carter Vickers is untouchable. Scales has earned his stripes as a rotation option, even if some fans don't fancy him as a starter. Trust he's a keeper for now. Though he's been a mixed bag. Flashes of brilliance, flashes of, what are you doing, son? But with a full preseason, there's potential there. Now the likes of Narowski and Laguer Bielka, that's where it gets tricky. Bielka's too slow. For what Rodgers wants, it's not personal, but it's not gonna work. Narowski, I'll give a last chance. He's had moments, but when push comes to shove, Rodgers doesn't trust him. He's not picking him, even when Vickers is out, which says a lot. At left back, Greg Taylor's situation is still up in the air. Ideally, we'd keep him. He's not flashy, but he gets the job done and would be a great rotation piece if we bring in someone like Kieran Tierney. Schlupp, though, probably not staying. Not because he's been awful, but because we need someone at a higher level for that position. Midfield is where things get interesting. McGregor is the heartbeat. No debate. Hitadi, if we can keep him, brilliant, but the reality is he might look for a bigger move. O'Reilly's in the same boat. They've both got quality that attracts attention from bigger leagues. Engels has been decent, not quite hit the heights we hoped for given his price tag, but he's young and you can see there's a player in there. He just needs to influence games more consistently. Bernardo's another one who's been promising in spells but hasn't nailed down a starting spot. Next season's crucial for him. Daniel Kelly loaned him out. Needs game time. Odin Thiago Holmes a keeper, but he's got to show more. There were flashes where you thought, here we go, we've got a gem here, but it fizzled out by the end of the season. I'm not writing him off though. Young players are inconsistent, and with the right development, he could be a real asset. Now, wingers, where do we even begin, Maida? No discussion, you keep him at all costs. He's the engine of this team. When he plays, we play. Yang's had a turnaround in form and deserves another season to prove himself. James Forrest experienced leadership and still pops up with crucial goals, a valuable squad player. Marco Tilio, though, probably doesn't have a future here. I'd look to move him on, maybe with a loan first if a sale doesn't materialize. Palmer, much the same. He's not shown enough to suggest he can be a regular contributor. Could get a chance in preseason, but the writing's on the wall. We need more quality in those wide areas, especially with Jota missing a chunk of next season. That brings us to strikers. Kyogo's your man, even if his goal tally dips. His movement and link-up play are irreplaceable. Adam's shown promise, but we need to strengthen that position, no doubt. Johnny, can he loan him out? Let's see what he can do at Premiership level. It's time for a proper test. Looking at the bigger picture, it's clear Celtic have a solid core. The spine of the team, Johnston, Carter, Vickers, McGregor, Maida, Kyogo. That's a foundation you can build around, but depth is an issue. We're 1 or 2 injuries away from real problems in certain positions, especially at centre-back and on the wings. The challenge is getting the right quality through the door. And let's be honest, Celtic don't always get business done early. We've seen it before, scrambling in the last days of the window using the old Champions League qualifiers make it tricky excuse. If we want to compete at the highest level, especially in Europe, we need to be proactive, not reactive. The board has to back Rodgers with players that fit his style. Players with pace, physicality, and composure under pressure. The fan base knows where the gaps are. Another centre-back to partner Vickers, a quality left-back, reinforcements out. Wide, maybe a proper enforcer in midfield. These aren't luxuries, they're necessities. And with the financial rewards of European football, there's no excuse not to invest. Because while the squad's good enough domestically, we've seen where the limitations are when stepping onto the bigger stage. And as much as we love seeing homegrown lads like Ralston and Scales perform, there needs to be a balance between sentiment and ambition. In the end, it's about building a squad that can dominate in Scotland and at least hold its own in Europe. The raw ingredients are there. But it's up to the club to add the missing pieces. So here's hoping this time next year we're not still talking about messy bedrooms and last-minute panic buys. Right? Let's keep this going. We've talked through the squad, but now it's time to get real about what Celtic need to actually push forward. Because here's the harsh reality. Standing still in football is the same as going backwards. We all love the players who've given us great memories, but if we're serious about making progress, sentiment can't be the only reason to keep someone around. That doesn't mean a full clear out. Far from it. It means being ruthless where it counts adding quality where we lack it and making sure the team isn't just good enough to get by, but strong enough to dominate. You look at the center-back situation and it's screaming out for investment. Carter Vickers is top class, but expecting Trusty or Scales to be his long-term partner feels like a gamble. They're decent lads, honest players, but when you're going up against the very best in Europe, you need more than just decent. You need power, you need pace, you need composure under pressure. The type of defender who doesn't panic when the ball's zipped in the feet or when a tricky winger's running at them. If Celtic can find out suddenly the backline looks a lot more secure. In midfield, it's a similar story. McGregor is the glue that holds it all together, but he can't do it all on his own. O'Reilly and Hattade bring quality, but their futures aren't guaranteed. If one of them goes, that leaves a huge gap in creativity. The club needs to be proactive here, not waiting until late August to react. And it's not just about like-for-like replacements. There's been a lot of talk about bringing in a proper enforcer. Someone who can add a bit of steel wind to dirty battles and give the more technical players the platform to play. Celtic's midfield has looked a bit lightweight at times. And fixing that could make a massive difference, especially in Europe. Then we've got the wings. Maida's relentless energy is a massive asset. But with Jota missing for a good chunk of next season, the squad looks thin out wide. Yang's improved, but we need more. A real difference maker. Someone who can beat a man, deliver quality crosses, and chip in with goals. It's been a recurring theme over the past few seasons. Not enough consistent output from the wide players. That has to change. Up front, Kyogo remains the main man. His movement is elite, and even when he's not scoring, he pulls defenses apart and creates space for others. But we need another option. Someone who offers something different. A physical presence, maybe. A striker who can bully defenders, hold the ball up, and give us a plan B when the usual slick passing game isn't working. It's about giving Rodgers options. Right now, if Kyogo's out or off form, we're light. And here's the key point. It's not just about numbers, it's about raising the standard. We don't need 5 or 6 bodies just to fill out a squad list. We need 3 or 4 proper players who come in and improve the starting 11. Players who don't just compete for places, but who demand a starting jersey. That's the level Celtic should be aiming for. Of course, this all depends on the board. There's always that tension. The fans see what's needed, the manager knows what's needed, but will the backing be there? Too often in the past, we've seen late moves bargain hunting or settling for second choices. That approach might keep you on top domestically, but it won't take you further in Europe. And let's be honest, Europe is the next frontier. Domination in Scotland is great, but the ambition has to be bigger than that. The Champions League qualifiers are looming and the excuses will start rolling out soon, but that can't be the fallback every year. The club has had long enough to plan. The scouting network should be identifying targets now, not scrambling once the season starts. Celtic's in a position of strength. League champions, financially stable, with a manager who knows what it takes. There's no reason we can't build a squad capable of making a real impact. In the end, it comes down to ambition. Do we want to just stay ahead of Rangers and call it a day? Or do we want to build something special, something that can compete at a higher level? The potential is there. The fan base is certainly ready, but now it's over to the decision makers. Get it right, and this time next year, we'll be talking about progress. Get it wrong, and we'll be right back here talking about messy bedrooms and missed opportunities. That's where we are. The squad's good, but it needs to be better. The spine is strong, but the edges are frayed. A few smart additions could be the difference between another good season and a genuinely great one. And for a club like Celtic, good should never be good enough. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. In a surprising twist that has sent shockwaves through Scottish football, Celtic have pulled off a sensational coup by signing Belgian winger Michel-Ange BALIKWISHA. The 23-year-old, previously a standout performer for Royal Antwerp, arrives in Glasgow amid high expectations as the Hoops look to bolster their attacking options ahead of a pivotal season in both domestic and European competition. BALIKWISHA, known for his electric pace, technical flair, and ability to beat defenders one-on-one, had been linked with several top European clubs, making Celtic's success in sealing the deal all the more remarkable. His performances in the Belgian Pro League and in European fixtures last season drew considerable praise, with many tipping him for a move to one of the continent's major leagues. However, in a bold and ambitious move, Celtic have stepped in to secure his services, underlining the club's intent to dominate on all fronts. The move comes at a time when Celtic are aiming to reassert their dominance in the Scottish Premiership and make a deeper impact in continental tournaments. BALIKWISHA's arrival adds much-needed dynamism and depth to Brendan Rodgers' side, with fans already dreaming of how the new signing will link up with the likes of Kyogo Furuhashi and Matt O'Reilly. His style promises to bring flair and unpredictability, potentially unlocking stubborn defenses that have caused Celtic headaches in tight matches. While the financial terms of the deal remain undisclosed, sources close to the club suggest a significant investment was made to secure the winger's signature. This signals a shift in the club's recruitment strategy, targeting emerging talents with European pedigree rather than relying solely on local prospects or budget signings. BALIKWISHA himself expressed enthusiasm about joining Celtic, noting the club's rich history, passionate fan base, and the opportunity to play in front of a packed Parkhead as key factors in his decision. As the green and white faithful digest the news, the focus now shifts to how quickly BALIKWISHA can adapt to the physical and fast-paced nature of Scottish football. With pre-season just around the corner, Celtic supporters won't have to wait long to see their new star in action. One thing is certain: the arrival of Michel-Ange BALIKWISHA marks a statement of intent from Celtic, one that could shape the season to come. Hello, fan. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.